Pod Sound School presents Content Jefe, the podcast that helps online business owners make better content and more money. Let's Jefe up. Hello, amigo, amigazo, Content Jefe. Welcome to the Content Jefe podcast brought to you by the Pod Sound School. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Studio Steve.
And this podcast is for you if you're a content creator, a business owner trying to figure out online marketing and how to make money online. On each episode, we'll bring you inside the world of content creation so you can get confident and learn all the skills you need to make better content and more money.
Yes. And in this episode, we're going to share something with you that's fairly easy to implement and even easier to understand that will 100x or maybe even 1000x the growth of your business.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're really talking about here is task management. And we're talking about the difference or high priority tasks versus low priority tasks. This is going to get pretty greasy and pretty
and
delicious.
Uh-huh. We're hungry. Can you tell?
I'm hungry, right?
I'm so hungry.
Ooh, this is going to get like tomatoey and oniony and cilantro-y with some shredded chicken and a taco.
Before we get into that juiciness and cheesiness and the cheese that just like melts.
Ooh, and the sour cream maybe.
Yeah, we get into that. I want to thank you for listening to our podcast. I want to thank you for watching this podcast if you're on YouTube or watching us on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. We want to grow our community of content jefes. So spread the word about our podcast. Share it with another content creator or business owner. And leave a review too. We read those reviews and we try to reply to the comments.
Yes.
And I know that somebody, I forgot her name, but somebody left a review the other day on Apple Podcast, and it really, really made my day.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And let's just get to the episode, Jefe.
Let's do it. This episode is especially for you if you are a brand new business owner or, you're just kind of new to the whole making money online thing. Maybe you've got a side hustle that you're trying to turn into a full-time gig, or maybe you're just barely hanging in there, meaning that you're not really making profit yet, but you're just kind of surviving. So you're in that very difficult place of entrepreneurship or of building a business. And this is what we like to think of as the critical stage for business owners and entrepreneurs. And this is the stage that is very difficult. It's like a rite of passage stage. Mm-hmm. And it's within the stage that you will see most businesses fail or most people just sort of throw in the towel on that business idea, maybe move on to the next one. So we want to talk about how basically to get through this stage, how to 100x the time that it takes you to get through this stage and to really not only grow your business, but to really gain financial freedom and get to those places. Mm-hmm. And that truly is the stuff we're going to talk about in this episode. Mm-hmm. And we're going to break it up into 4 parts.
Okay.
First, we're going to talk about what happens when you get bitten by the entrepreneurial bug.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to talk about or answer what's the role of a CEO? Like, what does that even mean? And third, we'll get into how to identify high priority tasks versus low priority tasks. Mm-hmm. And those will be 3 quick things we're going to cover before we really present to you how to 100x your business growth or the solutions, I guess, to those problems or those issues.
Yeah. And if you're thinking, why are you talking about that stuff? Like, this isn't, you guys teach people how to podcast. We quit our 9-to-5s and we just got into podcasting because we love the platform and we had some skills that we could teach. And we started building our business too. We're business owners. And in that path of developing our business, of growing our business, we have learned a few lessons that we have to share with you today. And also we've been trying to cram as much information as we can about business growth, business strategy, sales strategy, marketing, and all that.
For our own sake.
And we're excited to share these things with you because we want to save you a lot of pain and we want to see your business succeed and we want to see you get into places and turning your side hustle into a full-time of this big thing that can afford you all the things that you want to afford for you, for your family, all the opportunities.
Yeah, for your kids, the kind of money, the kind of financial freedom, not just for yourself, but for your kids and for their kids and for everyone else to build a legacy for yourself. that's really important. And we're going to get into the slips and the turns and the pitfalls that keep so many of us from actually achieving that. And like Veronica said, we're not business coaches per se, but as you reach new levels and new plateaus, you do have things that you can offer and lessons that you learn. And we have made it past this rite of passage stage. We've built enough following, enough of an identity for our brand that we're actually able to start making profits and actually able to start seeing that financial freedom. And it's really exciting stuff. And we want the same thing for you. So, number one, you get bitten by the entrepreneurial bug. And this makes me think of, maybe it's a throwback to the E-Myth. And the E-Myth was a really amazing book. It's been around for a long time. There's a lot of variations. But the E-Myth has this really funny way of looking at the myth of being an entrepreneur. And he calls it the entrepreneurial seizure. And this is where, you're working your 9 to 5 and you realize you're probably the most valuable employee at your company, and you're just underappreciated, underpaid. They don't see you for what you are. You feel replaceable. And
you don't have any freedom.
Even though if you left your job that they would crumble without you, but you can get 2 weeks of vacation every year, right? And it's not any way to live your life. So you have this entrepreneurial seizure. You're like, I'm going to start a business for myself. And then what happens is people wind up starting businesses for themselves, maybe like restaurants or, selling products or making products or offering services. And what they do is they basically just build another job for themselves to go work hourly and get paid hourly. And they never really scale their business that they create for themselves. They never really scale it to the point of having the financial freedom that we're talking about. And so in his book, super helpful book, it still stands the test of time. He talks about 3 different personality types, or I like to think of them as 3 different hats that you have to wear as a business owner. There is the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur is what he says in his book. But I like to call the entrepreneur the CEO because it makes me think more of what my role as a CEO would be if I was an entrepreneur, right? And so the technician, as the name suggests, is the day-to-day, right? The tasks, the menial tasks that maybe don't take a lot of specialty, things that you can hire somebody to do for you very easily, or even entry-level jobs. This is all the administrative tasks, is everything else, but it's also like in the case of a content creator and what we do, it would be the video editing and all of these things are
the community manager,
the audio editing,
the graphic designer,
all of that stuff in our case specifically. But all of these things are very critical for the growth of a business. So this is a triangle you can think of, that if all those things aren't in balance, the business isn't going to succeed or push to the next level. So you have to have the technical minutia, the day-to-day tasks taken care of. And then there's the manager, the managerial hat. And that's very important because that is managing your technicians. That's scheduling, budgeting, finances, all that stuff, manager stuff, right? And then there's the CEO, the entrepreneur. So now that we've sort of explained that, you've been bitten by the bug. Now I thought we could move on to number 2 and talk about what is a CEO?
We've been talking about the CEO and the CEO role, and just to share something like personal of what we're going through right now is that you kind of have stepped into the role of the CEO. We both created our company.
Yeah.
It was your idea at the beginning. I came along, and we've been doing like all sorts of things, like juggling different things. But because of our different personalities and because you have the vision and you can see the future, you can see where you're taking us as a business, as a brand, and as a company, I think you have assumed that role of the CEO, which I'm perfectly okay with because I'm more of the managerial type.
Yeah.
I love tasks. I love delegating tasks. I love keeping track of things. I love planning. I love not planning, but having just, map out things.
Yeah.
And just like stay on top of things, stay on top of communications with our sponsors, with our students, writing emails. So all of that managerial stuff. I do the finances. I do like basically like the back end, the running of the business.
Yeah, or even so,
so
like
to
the
speak,
executive stuff
the
running of the
executive
business.
staff running of the business. So, in my opinion, the CEO is the person who has the vision. The CEO is the person who knows where they want to be in a few years,
5 years, 10
5
years,
years, 10 years,
20
and
years.
and it's very hard as a CEO to find people who can help you materialize that vision. So I think that's, in my opinion, that's a CEO, and
That's the
having,
CEO. I
and
love
also
that.
letting go and leading. A CEO has to have those qualities, like the leading qualities,
The leading quality of
and
getting the
and the
vision of the
letting go and
future,
delegating.
letting go, and having that vision of the future, but also being able to lead or to inspire that vision to
Mhm.
make the people on the team of the business, make especially the high performing people on the team, to make them all on board with that same vision. So we're all moving in the right direction.
Mhm.
I love that a lot. The other thing that I find when you look at CEOs of different companies, there are so many different variations of a CEO. And depending on where a company is in its development stage, how far along it is, that the tasks of what a CEO does every day would be different from company to company. And so there's not like a workbook for CEOs that will tell you exactly what you have to do and what's considered a CEO and what isn't. And actually, Veronica does a lot of CEO style things. And for our business, it doesn't really matter who has that title. But as far as the sort of the more visionary style things, and then the leadership, and like, this is where we're going to take our business, and these are making some of those decisions, and even some of the more creative style stuff that can fall into what you would think of as the entrepreneur or the CEO, right?
Mhm.
And so that stuff, I think, is what I would call the highest priority tasks,
Mhm.
is the stuff that the CEO does and the
Mhm.
top people in the company. They're taking care of what you would call high priority tasks. So
Mhm.
hopefully we got your head spinning a little bit about what a CEO is and what are your ideas of what a CEO is.
Mhm.
We'd love to know.
Yeah, let us know in the
Let us know in
comments.
the comments. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, you can comment right there, or you can find us anywhere at Pod Sound School. But
Mhm.
now let's move on to number 3, which is, how do you identify and make the difference between what a high priority task is and what a low priority task is? So do you know what I mean by that? And what do you think, what, maybe we can provide some examples. What would qualify something to be the highest priority
Mhm.
task for a
So
business?
I think the highest priority task is the decisions or the things that will have a big impact on the business.
Mm-hmm.
The decisions that have to do with money, the decisions that have to do with projects and things that go into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be the high priority tasks for me.
I would also add to that things that you could actually collect data on. So things that are, how do you say that? Trackable.
Mm-hmm.
Things that you could actually, the task itself, you can see the ROI or the return on that task.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it could be anything from, planning, ideation, communication, leading, but
Mm-hmm.
also like hiring, managing. And, so some of
Mm-hmm.
those like managerial tasks are also very high priority tasks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, there are within each group, you're going to find high priority tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's,
and I think like everything that has to do with bringing money.
yeah, and so what really I also want to get at here though is not just for the CEO, but also for the manager and also for the technician. You have these 3 different parts of your business that have to operate, but there's also within that there's a hierarchy of tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the low priority tasks may seem like they need to get done, all that busy work. But in actuality, if you just completely ignore it and you don't do it, your business wouldn't fall apart. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean by high priority. And so when it comes to your technician, and if you're a manager and you're managing the technicians, and maybe that's just you and you have all these different personalities in your head right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're a manager and you're managing the technical things that you have to do, it's important to determine which one of these tasks that my technician is going to do can actually be traced, can be tracked, and is going to give us a return.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's important for the entrepreneurial brain or the CEO part of your personality to be able to differentiate. And that's where maybe the highest priority task could be to meditate or to take an hour and go walk in the forest, or to climb, or to go on a hike, or to actually clear your mind so that you can have the clarity of making those very important decisions. And the world's biggest and most highly paid CEOs, that's basically what they're getting paid for. And they get paid more than anyone at the company. It's because they're making decisions.
Yeah, and those decisions, they can cost millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars, billions, millions of dollars in one decision, right? So that there requires a different type of discipline to be able to make those kind of decisions, because the technician shouldn't have that as their responsibility. And if you are in that, if you have your technician hat on, the last thing you want to be doing is entrepreneuring and is CEOing, because that's going to confuse you from just doing the task that you're supposed to do. It's up to the entrepreneur to tell you what's important for you or not. That's why things can get really confusing. But each category has their own high priority tasks. And can we think of any examples from the technical point? It would be like, it's very important that you put out free content, like in our example. We have to put out free content, but a low priority task would be, what are some examples of some low priority tasks? Can you think of any?
At the technician level?
Yeah, at the technician level.
Well, a low priority task would be just to get caught up spending an hour or two creating a graphic.
Yeah.
When there are other ways that the same message can be communicated, and that is faster and less time consuming.
So it's misdirected tasks. Misdirected,
yeah, right? Or just like creating content that has nothing to do with the company, that is not promoting any products, that is not helping the business to grow.
Yeah,
is not researched, is not niched, it doesn't have any of those qualities. So it's just creating content for the sake of creating content.
Yeah,
that will be a low priority task for the technician, and that is misdirected.
Yeah, or even misdirected tasks where you're completing a bunch of tasks before market research or validating the idea of the product or the thing that you're creating has been done. Because if you're not targeted in your tasks, if you don't have these, so again, this really goes back again to this idea of the CEO and this idea of who's steering the ship. And I think a lot of times we get into businesses and we start a business and it's like, we don't even have a very clear idea of what our product is or what services we really offer, what they really are, or what they could really be. Because perhaps the highest priority task, the thing that we should have been doing, is that innovative stuff. And I think what's really difficult is when you come from the world of working from 9 to 5 and you basically have been a technician, in our jobs, that our brains are trained to work that way. And we're very efficient. Humans are just so good at doing what they're told. And we're conditioned to do that. So now all of a sudden, nobody's telling you what to do anymore. You are responsible for doing that. And you have to be in this place where you can maybe not follow the rules, maybe skip a day of work, maybe, like I said, go on some weird retreat.
That's been so hard for me.
Yeah.
It's been so hard for me because I'm one of those. I need direction. I need somebody telling me what to do. And since we are doing this, it's been really, really hard for me to stay on track, to focus on the things that matter.
Yeah. And to even know if what you're focusing on matters. So that we're going to get to some solutions for all of this. So don't worry, we're exposing the problems, and then we're going to talk about the solutions and how the solutions to these can actually very quickly.
We're not going to let you high and dry. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, high and dry.
Hey, I'm interrupting the episode for a little announcement. You know you have to create content to attract more prospects online, but the whole thing seems daunting and too much to figure it out on your own. Which social media platform should I choose? Should I start making videos for IG Reels, TikTok, or YouTube? What skills do I need to learn? What equipment do I need? Or maybe you're considering starting a podcast for your business. And if any of that's the case, we want to invite you to sign up for the waitlist for Smart and Simple Podcasting. It's our first coaching program where we, the Pod Sound School will be teaching you how to create and launch a professional podcast from scratch. Content marketing, so your content is a lead generation machine for your business, and different ways to maximize every time you record so you can create micro pieces of content that will go on different social media platforms. We'll be holding your hand through the whole process, meeting weekly with you, making sure that you're not getting left behind. We'll be teaching students and clients about podcast and video production and marketing for 4 years. Our approach to teaching is straightforward, innovative, and fun. So hurry up and go to podcastingsmart.com/waitlist to sign up, or find the link in the description of this episode. Stop working so hard on your content. Make your content work for you. Now back to the episode.
Now that we've sort of just kind of jibber-jabbered about high priority tasks versus low priority tasks, and maybe another way now you can think of that is directed, strategic tasks versus, misdirected, sort of random tasks. And then also I want to add to that, when it comes to all of those tasks, we're going to come to a solution that the performance on every level, whether it's technical, managerial, or entrepreneur, the performance of those tasks. So how well oiled is the machine that's doing those tasks? Meaning, are your technicians taken care of? Do they feel appreciated? Are they into the work? That again goes back to, is there good leadership? And then is there good management?
And communication.
Is there good communication? And that's all stuff the manager has to do. And oftentimes, if you look at the CEOs of these big companies, they're horrible at communication, or they're just not team players, or they have some sort of issue. So almost similar to where you see like the producers or the directors of the movie, like depending on the crew and depending on the business, they take on different roles. And there may be somebody even more critical behind the scenes that's making the business operate than the CEO is. But the CEO still has that very important visionary component. And so it's about determining like what's most important for your company, your business, and all of that. And that's where we can go now. And let's finish this episode up by talking about the fourth thing on the list. And that is, this is how you're actually going to do it. This is the solutions. These are our suggestions. There isn't just like a magic button you can press. You actually have to do a lot of research. And what this really comes down to, like I mentioned at the very first of the episode, is task management. We're looking at, there's only so many hours in the day. How can we take advantage of the fact that we're either solopreneurs, couplepreneurs, maybe we have a small team of people. That's what we're talking about, is prioritizing those. And so the first thing is to identify your highest priority tasks and to kind of do this on a regular, ongoing basis. And then once you have
the HPT,
or what we also say, based off of a book, and I cannot remember where it came from, is our MITs, which are the most important task for you to get done. So that's kind of a cool grade or a scale, is thinking which task, I have this whole, write down everything that you can think of that you have to do. And then of all those, order them in order of importance and schedule those first. I love that, because let's say there's 50 things and you can only finish 15 of those 50 things that week. Those other things probably didn't even need to get done. And once you figure out what is your high priority task, then also figure out what are the tasks that I have to do that don't really need my specialty, that I can hire other people to do, and batch before you have the ability to do that, because maybe it's not in your budget. You can batch record, you can batch create, you can batch work. For example, what we're doing with our podcast right now, we're batch recording 5 podcast episodes all in one day, that then we have hired some amazing editors to edit it. They're going to take it. And you've heard us talk about this before. This is our content strategy.
Yeah. And as humans, we tend to overcomplicate things. The best thing that I've done lately is to read The Chillpreneur.
Oh, The Chillpreneur.
The Chillpreneur book. I'm going to link that book, as it's so entertaining. And she is a business coach, and her whole approach is to have a business that is so chill that you enjoy, and you don't have to stress about your business, and simplified every process, and simplified every every task that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Automate.
Automate is a big
Batch
one.
record.
Batch record.
Have
Yep.
everything set up, your microphone, your camera, so it's only sit down and record.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have to have episodes or videos that are 40 minutes long. If you have a 5-minute video, if you have a 10-minute episode, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just make it easy on you. You don't have to make it complicated and stressful and, like die in the process or get your adrenals all activated. No. You don't have to. Do it your way.
Do it your way. Yeah. And then another big thing here is to schedule management meetings. This one was hard for me. This is why it's so awesome to have Veronica, but we are still struggling with this all the time.
Yes.
So
we're not perfect by any means.
No, and you have to come up with your own system that works for you. So what we've realized works better for us, even though we work in the same location, so to speak, we actually have separated ourselves, and our meetings are much more productive when we do them virtually.
Yes.
And we time them. And if I have a big sort of brain lightning storm, instead
that lasts for 4 days.
That lasts for 4 days or 4 hours. Instead, what I'll do is make a video presentation and give that video presentation to Veronica to get her feedback. And that's very quick. It allows us to progress and to move forward. And so you just have to practice with these things, but being aware of these things is good. And then also making sure that you schedule a time to do the managerial tasks and make sure that every point in that triangle is being taken care of. One of those is the manager or the managerial point.
Mm-hmm.
And there you're going to, once a week, you're going to schedule out what you have to do each week. Give yourself 1 to 2 MITs a day. These are just suggestions, but these will really help. Don't shoot for the moon. Don't burn yourself out. Just what are the most important tasks that I need to do each day, every week? What's really cool about this too, if you don't do that, then you have no way of tracking or tracing if your tasks are taking you anywhere or what tasks you've been completing. All of this is stuff that we've never had to do before when we were just one of the types. We were either a manager of a business or a technician of a business, and that we didn't have to wear so many hats. So you have to take a moment to manage it and schedule it, and you have to get good at putting on different hats. And when you put on a certain hat, don't allow yourself to put on the other hat. So on Monday, you're going to be the manager, but on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to be a technician. You're not allowed to talk about entrepreneurial things.
Or the talent.
Yeah. Or you're going to be the talent, or you're going to, whatever it is. And then on Friday is the day that you get to go in the forest, you get to meditate, you get to do whatever you want to do to make sure that that entrepreneur
talk to the squirrels
and that CEO is still talking to the squirrels. And that's it. And then finally, I do have to say, while you're doing the schedule, this is so important. Make sure that you schedule in me time. Schedule in your time. Schedule in time to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit, which is, I guess you could say, the triangle of human nature, right? Because if those things are out of balance, if your machine's not well oiled, then you won't have the flow and the energy and the focus and the clarity to know if your tasks are actually high priority or not. So make sure that you're looking into whatever works for you to take care of the very dimensional and amalgamous thing that is.
Oh, wow.
I know. Did you see? I gave you the
throwing
look.
some fancy words.
Amalgamous.
And we're talking about the forest because we are here in North Carolina and it's so beautiful.
Oh my, the forest.
It's so gorgeous.
It's insane. Just on our errands that we run every day, it's like going to the most beautiful. It's got to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. It's so beautiful here.
So beautiful, yeah.
Especially this time of year. It's the fall time of year right now.
Yeah. But let us know. What do you think about this episode? Did you find the information useful?
Yes. Are you ready to 100x your business? If you can start thinking in terms and getting good at juggling the hats and stuff, oh man.
And I know that it's a lot. It's a lot of information. It's a lot to get into this world of entrepreneurship and owning your own business and managing your own time. But you're doing great. Give yourself some grace, pat yourself on the back, and come up with a plan that works for you. Don't get discouraged. Don't compare yourself to other people. We all suffer.
Yeah.
Like you may see us here with this microphone and we fall apart.
Yes, we fall
We fall
apart like
apart on a
crazy.
daily basis.
Yes. Last
Yeah.
time we batch recorded these, I wasn't recording them
Yeah,
right.
it's just part of being an
And
entrepreneur.
we had to
You
do
feel
it all over again.
It's just part of being an entrepreneur. If you feel like you're just dropping the ball constantly, it's like being a mother.
Yeah.
You constantly feel like you're failing your kids.
You constantly feel like you're failing your business.
Yeah, I compare it with that. But no, you're doing great, and we believe in you, and you can do this.
You just got to stay in the game, be open-minded, and adapt.
Yeah, and remember, you are the CEO.
Yes.
You have the vision. You can find the people to support you on that vision, to see that vision come to life.
Yes. And once you start taking care of and completing those high priority, highly focused tasks, you will 100x your business.
Yes. Make sure you follow us on social media. Come and say hi to on Instagram. I'm over on Instagram all the time.
I'm on
scrolling.
Twitter sometimes.
I should be working, and instead I'm on Instagram.
That's for
There you
another
go.
episode. And we'll catch you on that other episode.
Pod Sound School.
In the meantime, Jefe up.
Bye, Jefe. Mwah.